Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Hello? Is this on? Is this on? I'm not muted, right? Unlike last time. No? All right.
No, you're not muted.
Good. I'm not muted this time. But on that note, guys, welcome. What is good? What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. I'm your main man, Ferris. And this week, I'll be honest with y'all, it's a very sad day. Very sad day. All right.
Oh,
New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys both lost in their divisional matchups against the Eagles and the 49ers. But I'm breaking it down with my main man, Caleb. How are you, my man? I don't even know why I asked that question.
terrible.
I already know that. Yeah, I already knew the answer.
Sucks.
Yeah. All right, you know what, Caleb? Let's break it down. Let's go right into it. That ugly game in San Francisco. Well, Santa Clara to be exact. What did you think? What do you think of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think they uh, were a better team. Um, I've always said that we're talented enough to beat anybody, and the only thing that was going to be in our way is if we're going to beat ourselves, and that's exactly what happened. Um, just made mistakes, shot ourselves in the foot, and I don't think they beat us. We just made too many mistakes on our side that prevented us from winning. Um, Obviously, you can't turn over the ball. Dak didn't take care
Nope.
of the ball. Dak didn't play well. Um, he threw those two terrible interceptions. And I think if we don't turn over the ball, I really think we win. Considering how much they were struggling to score as well. You know, so I mean, I think if we don't give them points right there, give them the ball right on the inside the red zone right there, and give them 3 points, and then again give them the ball back with another interception. Um, they're gonna struggle to score. Like they have been all game. They were only kicking field goals, um, and they they um they wouldn't have been able to win if we don't turn over the ball. At
Mhm.
least I don't think. Um, and Dak, like I said, Dak obviously had his issues with the interceptions um, in the regular season. Obviously, I thought he turned it around last game because he didn't turn it over at all. Had a great game, and then
Mhm.
in this game, he just went back. He wasn't seeing things all that right. On the one to Gallup, it just shows like I mean maybe Gallup's still not there because I mean what I say earlier in the season that Gallup just has these problems on these stop and go routes. Anytime he has to like just dig in, you saw him just waiting there, and he didn't fight for the ball at all. He just looked at the guy intercepting the ball, and he can come. He didn't even try to come back to the ball and
Was
make
this
a play on
the
it.
was this the Lenore interception or the Warner interception?
It was the cornerback one.
Okay, Lenore, gotcha. Now I know where
Yeah,
it was. Now I know it was on the
yeah,
far
because
sideline on the
obviously
of the left tackle.
more of like a comeback route.
Mhm.
That Michael Gart and he didn't have a problem with that. Is it the knee? The ACL? You can't make those type of that type of stop and come back type of routes. Maybe because he doesn't seem to be able to come back on those routes and make a play on the ball. Um, I'm not excusing Dak for throwing just a terrible ball. Like it still was a bad ball, it still was a bad decision to throw it there. I'm not gonna excuse him for that, but just no fight from Gallup of trying to make a play on the ball either. Um, And then and the other one just, like I said, he just doesn't see the field right sometimes, and then doesn't even see Ward coming in, and he doesn't even see him, and he taps the ball and goes right into the linebacker's hands, and I just don't know what he's looking at. I don't understand the decision there, especially when you have another guy. I think you had Dalton Schultz on another route, just kind of running wide open, and even if he wasn't like open, I think he could. I mean, Dalton Schultz is big enough to make a play on it, but that's another thing. Schultz didn't play well either. He was bad. He didn't make some catches on the ball. He's making stupid decisions. He didn't go out of bounds on the last drive when he was supposed to go
He should have
forward, and
pushed
he
up.
just kind of
He should have pushed up. Yeah, he didn't.
yeah
The biggest mistake was not even that. It was not dragging your toe.
yeah
That was
yeah he
like
missed that.
that was worse than the other one. The other one he got hit.
Yeah, that's what
No.
two mistakes there. Like he was playing bad. He was playing bad all game. He had 10
Mhm.
targets, only 5 receptions. He had drop balls. Um, he wasn't playing well. I mean, he got the touchdown, but obviously it was on a short pass. But
Honestly, here's the thing, Caleb. If you think your tight end is ever going to be successful against the Niners, then you're not properly scheming right. You know what I mean? Because they have the best trio in the NFL in Aziz Oshari, Dre Greenlaw. Dre is kind of is kind of a little wild. He gets unnecessary roughness penalties sometimes, but Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the entire NFL. When those three don't think you're not against the New York Giants, okay? All right, this is the New York Giants where your tight end can have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, 13 catches. Like that's not going to happen with the Niners. The Niners are like, you're not. So the wide receivers need to be successful, and I feel like
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's name wasn't called a lot. I feel like but when good things happen, it was CD. But I
Oh,
think
that
Dak
the CD
Prescott.
was the only playmaker on the field.
That's what I'm
CD
saying. I
was the
think
only one doing anything out there.
there's sometimes, Caleb, where a quarterback needs to just shove it down. The guy, you just throw it to him every play. It doesn't matter wherever he is, just throw it because John Schultz is going to be successful because of the trio of linebackers. Michael Gallup's knee. Who's T.Y. Hilton just got there. Anything good that happened, CeeDee Lamb was a part of it. And there's sometimes it's like what happened to Kirk Cousins against the Giants, where it's like, why did he throw it to T.J. Hawkinson short? Why? Oh, Justin Jefferson was double covered. You can't throw it to him. You throw it to him. You throw it to him, and something crazy might happen. He may be the great player y'all say he is, but you throw it to him. Same with CeeDee Lamb. The other guys ain't working. Every time I throw you the ball, something positive happens. I'm gonna force feed you. I'm gonna throw you the ball. I'm gonna force feed you the ball, and he should have force fed him the ball. And I think that was one of the reasons Dak Prescott didn't play good because he wants to show people that, hey, no, I'm a quarterback, man. I can throw it to everybody, man. I can throw it to everybody. No. Be Troy Aikman. Caleb, who was your wide receiver 2 in the 90s? Do you even know? Nobody knows.
The receiver 2?
Yeah. Who was Michael Irvin's running mate?
Alvin Harper.
Damn it, I forgot. Good point. All right,
Alvin
you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Troy Aikman force fed Michael Irvin sometimes. He force fed him. Dak Prescott needs to force feed CeeDee Lamb. Throw him the ball. Just throw him the ball. I don't care. Don't care if he's double covered. Don't care. Just throw him the ball. Don't make like crazy decisions like, oh, he's double covered and they're all mushed together. Like, nah, like everything's triple covered. Like, no, don't do that. That's just crazy. But sometimes you got to force feed the ball. Sometimes it just happens. Because how do you not know? How do you not drag your toe, Dalton? How do you not drag your toe? How do you not drag your toe? That's like, how do you not do that? Like, bro, what? I also think the biggest thing is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard.
Yeah, that's like that's the biggest thing that hurt us there.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't run the ball all that well either. I mean, we couldn't really run the ball.
Yeah,
just in the passing game, it hurt us. I think a lot. Zeke was running Pollard plays and just wasn't being successful, especially when we got close to the end zone, there was a throw to Zeke, and it just wasn't, on target. But it's like I don't know if he ran the wrong route or what happened there. Didn't look good though. Probably nearly got picked. So yeah, I think he would just run out. Probably was a Pollard route there. And it just didn't look good when Pollard went out. He was one of the only main weapons we had. I mean, we just have a serious lack of weapons to throw to. Like I said, I thought all season it was a bad decision to get rid of Mark Cooper. I said that all season, and I said, I think we made a mistake when they signed Michael Gallup, thinking they betting on a guy coming off an injury instead of paying the money to Amari Cooper, and this is the result. We don't have enough guys to throw to, and when Dak's playing bad like he was, he needs other guys to make plays, and other guys did not make plays because I don't know, just weren't good enough in the game to make plays for Dak when he was lacking. But yeah, I mean, but that's still no excuse for Dak. Dak's got to play better. I don't know what it is. I don't know why he can't show up in this type of moments and just see the field better. Just throw better balls, make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I think some of it is play calling. Obviously, I said had my problems with how Kelmore calls plays. I don't think. Yeah, good game. Calling plays against Bucks wasn't good. In this game, like I said, I don't think he could have adjusted when Pollard went out. And then, that shit shows. I don't know what the hell they were calling on that last play.
What was that, dude? What was that, dude? Was Zeke the center? Zeke was. Why is Zeke the center?
And he just gets ran over.
Yeah, he gets ran over.
Yeah.
Then it was like a quick strike to T.Y. Hilton or Kevontae Turpin.
It was the Turpin.
Then he got whacked.
I don't get why you're throwing a high ball to the shortest guy on the damn team.
He still caught it.
Yeah, he got immediately tackled because he had to jump up for it.
Yeah.
I think you would give it to like a more sure-handed catcher, and then pitch it to him, because then he'll just take off like a kickoff. He was good. I'm not taking Turpin was good all game. He was making.
He was giving us some good field
returns.
position. He almost broke one off.
Yeah.
He was like, also I was working.
Almost broke off a couple. I mean.
Yeah. A full disclosure, I was working the game. I was working the game, so I was watching it. I was watching it. I was like covering the game, and I was logging the game. And for the first time, I had to actually watch the kickoffs, because most of the kickoffs, they just kick them and then it's a touchback and it's whatever. But Kevontae Turpin was like, "Oh, you think this is a touchback? Watch me return this 55 yards to the midfield." And you're like, "Yo, you're at midfield and you don't score?" Like, Kevontae Turpin is doing his job. Yeah. He's like, "Dude, I'm doing your job." Because here's the thing. Here's the juxtaposition between him and Brock Purdy, Caleb, is Brock Purdy realized something. This is gonna be a defensive game, right? I'm not gonna have 300 yards. I'm probably not even gonna have a touchdown. It's gonna be a defensive game. So all I have to do is not screw it up. All right. So quarterbacks have had, like, great quarterbacks. They realize, like, okay, what type of game is this gonna be? Our defenses both these defenses are playing lights out. So I'm not gonna be the quarterback that loses us the game. I'm not allow the other guy to do it, because he's gonna start, pressing. And Dak Prescott pressed twice, picked off twice. And one of them was actually an impressive interception by Fred Warner. And I'm like, how are you a linebacker guarding a wide receiver? That's nonsense. You know what I mean? He's the man that I want. He's the dude I want on my team. Seeing Gerard Davis guard AJ Brown when I was watching the Giants. We'll talk about that a little later. We'll talk about it a little later. How I was very distraught. But yeah, man, Brock Purdy was like, I'm not going to lose this game, right? Because this is a defensive game, because both defenses are showing up. Micah Parsons threw a grown man to the side with one arm. He threw Mike McGlinchey to the side with one arm. You saw that, man? I was like, Jesus, damn.
Yeah.
Hey man, Osa Adigizua. Hey man, I said that man's name more than once when I was watching the game. It's like, you're doing good, big brother. By
Yeah.
the way, I know how to spell his last name now, by the way. I do know how to spell his last name because I had to spell it on Sunday. It's Odigizua.
Yeah.
Odigizua. So like they're showing up. Like, like the linebackers, Leighton Vander Esch shows up, is showing up when he's fully healthy. He's one of the best linebackers in the league. He's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So he's showing up, and then it's like your box is showing up. You're stopping the run, like they had over, they didn't have 100 yards, the Niners. They had 51, 30. Okay, so Mitchell had 51, McCaffrey had 35. So that's 86.
McCaffrey had 57 total yards.
Yeah. So like you're 8 in your box.
We
Stop them.
like the one thing that I was most worried about that we did.
You shut down the run.
We shut down McCaffrey. Like that's crazy to me. I think Dan Quinn called a great game, excellent game.
Also,
Dan
I think
Quinn.
it's the guy he's against. It was his former offensive coordinator. So there's that as well. So they know each other. So Kyle Shannon's like, I know you, you know me. All right, so I'm gonna rely on my defense to win the game because the offense really isn't gonna do much because your defense is probably gonna limit my offense. So it's gonna be a defensive game. I just need my quarterback not to ruin the game for us. Just don't mess it up. And Brock Purdy's like, I won't mess it up because this is a defensive game. Our defense is gonna lead us to victory. And guess what happened? The 2 interceptions. The Niners also had a turnover. I think it was a fumble. They lost a fumble, but but they didn't. But they lost the fumble. That was on the special teams. Yeah. No, actually, the Niners did have over 100 yard rushing. Yeah, the Niners did have over 100 yards rushing. It was 113 yards, so they went over 100.
Yeah, a lot of it was on that final drive that we just kind of worn out, and we were just
and also do like Deebo Samuel with Deebo Samuel with the 11, and then Kyle Juszczyk with 8, and Brock Purdy with 8, so that's 16. All right, so like one quarterback said, I'm not gonna mess this up. The other quarterback says, I'm gonna go make a play, but I made a dumb decision on one of the picks. And the other pick, he tried to force it in there, and Fred Warner got the interception. You know what I mean? The Lenore pick was just bad. That was a bad pick on Dak Prescott. It was as bad as the Kendall Fuller pick against Washington in Week 18. It was pretty bad. And this time around, I'm not blaming the receiver. That was all Dak Prescott's fault. That one was pretty bad. That was bad. He needs to, he needs to 16 interceptions after missing 6 games in this season. You shouldn't be having 16 picks. It's not. And in some games, y'all got lucky to win those games because the team you're against really didn't have the offensive firepower to take advantage. Don't get mad, but I'm gonna bring it up. The Thanksgiving game against the Giants, 2 interceptions. He throws 2 picks against the Giants. You guys still win because the Giants are the Giants. They can't capitalize because they ain't got no weapons, and your defense is your defense. So you stop them. But if he does that against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, if he did it, if y'all did win, or a better team like Cincinnati, if Dak Prescott throws 2 picks against Cincinnati, you're losing that game. You're losing that game because Joe Burrow and them will capitalize on your mistake. But in this game, the way the Niners capitalized was long drives, don't mess it up, get points, because it's going to be getting as many points as possible game. And that's what they did. They kicked 4 field goals. Y'all kicked 4 field goals. But the difference was that 1 interception that got them that touchdown. Boom.
Yeah, like I said, I think that was the difference. If one of the Turpin touchdowns we get, if he can break 1 big touchdown, any type of points, if we can get a turnover on defense, that could have switched, and that was one of them. A big point. Diggs just drops the ball. Like Diggs has it right in his hands, interception, and he just drops it. I mean that's a big game.
Speaking of digs,
a
Caleb,
play right there that could have changed the whole game for us. And
did you see what the
he
Cowboys
drops
Twitter
it.
account was
Like,
doing today? Did you see what they were doing today?
nah,
They were just
no.
throwing the players underneath the bus. Just like throwing them underneath the bus, like just calling them out. The official Twitter account had this article come out saying the 5 things that can't miss or like shouldn't have been missed. And it's like, these are the plays the Cowboys should have made to win this game. And I'm like, I've never seen a team do this. After a loss, I've never seen a team flame their
Well,
players.
that's a weekly article. That's a weekly article.
Oh,
The
okay.
5 things that change the game. It's both good and bad. It's whether when we win, it's like 5 things that made us win, or 5 things we made us lose.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's just
But
people
yeah,
finally realizing it. Okay, fine. Disregard it then. Disregard it. If it's a regular occurrence, then that's fine. It's fine. I think it's because it's a divisional game. If it's just because the divisional game kind of amplifies it, so people started like flaming them. Because I've never seen that. Continue, Caleb.
But yeah, just certain plays we had to make to change the game. We couldn't make our way. I mean, Caleb gets a lucky ass catch bouncing off the center right into his hands and we drop balls. That's what I'm saying. Just the ball just didn't bounce our way. Didn't go in our favor. I said I don't think they were better. They just a little more luck on their side. Party didn't do anything special. And they overall didn't do anything special that definitively said, "Oh, this team is better than us." We just didn't make the plays that we needed to, and that's what lost us the game.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much.
Also, on the coaching, we could have managed some time better. But it was we lost. Weren't good enough.
All right, now on the other coin, forget that. The New York Giants were against the Philadelphia Eagles. Going in this game, it's in Philly. Haven't beaten Philly in 9 attempts. This is gonna be our 10th try. Caleb's gone because that's fine. But now let me talk about the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. The last 10 home games, Philly has beaten us 10 straight times at home, including this one. This was their 10th straight victory at home. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. We don't have the guns. We don't have the men. We don't have the Jimmy and Joes. We don't have the dudes. We have good pieces, but the Eagles just come at you in just waves and waves and waves and waves and just waves of people. Just you feel like you're playing 15 people at a time, bro, because they just keep coming at you, man. They just keep going after you, and you're like, what is going on? Like Hassan Reddick is why is Hassan Reddick always fresh? Why is he always fresh? Like why? Like why is he? Because they rotate like 7 people on the defensive line, 8 people. Because you got Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat, Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, and some other random people. They have 3 linebackers in TJ Edwards and Kazir White, and I think there's another. There's just the depth of defenders. They just. I knew Evan Neal was gonna get eaten up by Hassan Reddick. I just needed Evan Neal to like slow him down enough, not stop him, slow him down enough. Couldn't. Hassan Reddick had 2 sacks in the first half like that. He had 2 sacks in one. I think 2 of his sacks came in one drive. And you just felt after they scored 14-0, it was like, I think this game is gonna get out of hand, isn't it? It's pretty bad, isn't it? And people talk about the 4th and 8. I don't understand why he went for 4th and 8, but it is what it is. They convert it. He looks like a
I mean,
genius. They don't convert. I don't understand. I don't get it. Well, I don't understand. I think we're only down 7-0. We're only down 7-0. And you're like, let's go for 4th and 8, like 4th and 8 in our own on our side of the 50. You know, like I don't agree. I don't agree with it. You know, it is what it is. I don't agree with it, but whatever. And then he doesn't go for it on 4th and 4 near the 50 in the fourth quarter, down 21. I'm like, then what's going on here? Like, I don't. That's when it felt like I feel like they accepted defeat. Right there, 4th and 4. They're like, yeah, we're done. Game's over. We're good. We're good. So I felt like it. Extremely proud of the season. Extremely proud. Because we weren't supposed to be here, Caleb. If you told me, hey, Ferris, your team is going to be in the divisional round this year, I would be like, hey, Caleb, stop lying, you crazy bastard. Okay? All right? You're jacking my chain here. But this is where we are. This is where we are. We made it to the divisional round. We weren't supposed to be here. We were supposed to have a top 5 pick. We were supposed to be picking in the top 5, looking at a quarterback or looking at a defensive player or a top prospect. Now we're picking in the 20s. You know, we had a great season. Love my boys. This was the first season in a long time where I felt joy watching my team. Was there deficiencies? Absolutely. Let me take you through one of them in that game. Their offensive line is the best offensive line in all football. Like I've said this for a while now. Like there's weeks ago where I'm like, this is the best offensive line. Their Landon Dickerson came out of the game, right? It's like, oh, no, backup guard. It's a backup guard. Cool. They bring in Andre Dillon, and nothing changes. They have depth as well. And their offensive line, I think they go 6 deep, 7 deep. They have 2 backups that they can use. Andre Dillard is one of them. It's just depth everywhere. Just depth everywhere, Caleb. You rotate 6 on your offensive line. You're rotating 8 on your defensive line. You have 7 DBs you can rotate. You have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who they stole from the Saints. I don't know what Howie Roseman has on the Saints GM to give them Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for free. I don't know how Howie Roseman got Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh for a 1-year ring chasing deal that the reason they have the money is that their quarterback was drafted in the 2nd round and they don't got to pay him that much money. So they can pay everyone else. Howie Roseman knows how to play the game. And it's either they're going to pay Jalen Hurts or they're not going to pay Jalen Hurts, one or the other. Just prime example. Let me give you a prime example of the game. Dexter Lawrence has to come out of the game for 3 plays, Caleb, right at the beginning of the game. This is the prime example of the lack of depth and the way they abused it. They bring in Justin Ellis to replace Dexter Lawrence, Caleb. The previous plays, they weren't rushing inside to Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. They're like, we're not rushing inside because that tandem is fierce. Dexter Lawrence comes out the game. 3 straight plays, Caleb, inside run A gaps, right at Justin Ellis. They ran right at Justin Ellis. And you know what? And here's the thing about Justin Ellis. They didn't double team him. You know what they did, Caleb? Okay, Jason Kelce, future Hall of Fame center. Just go guard him by yourself. And you know what Jason Kelce did? He took him to school.
What?
He picked him up and smashed him into the ground. You tend to double team A gaps. You tend to double team that guy. The Philly was like, nah, Jason Kelce would just guard you by himself. We don't need to double you. And that's what they did. They smashed Justin Ellis back-to-back inside run plays. And then Dexter Lawrence came in the game, and then they started going on the outside. But right there, defensive tackles don't play every snap. You need to rotate them in. It's one of the most dangerous positions on the NFL field because it's in the inside from guard to center. That little area is where all the dirt happens. You're being punched, you're being grabbed, you're being held, you're being smacked. You know, the ref's not seeing everything, so he's not seeing all the the nastiness, the dirtiness. I love it, but it comes with the game. So you need to rotate your defensive tackles. But when your defensive tackles you're rotating is Justin Ellis and Harry Mondu, Philly's like, really? That's Justin Ellis. That's who you bring in the game. All right, we're just running inside. They didn't even call some play. They're just like, we're just gonna run inside. It was literally like you're
Yeah,
in Pop Warner,
you know
Caleb.
how you know how I know you guys got run all over
What
because Jalen Smith was your leading tackler.
exactly? 6 yards of carry, Caleb. Six
Yeah, because he makes
yards a
tackles
carry.
when the guy's already 10 yards down the field,
Exactly,
and from
Caleb.
the
Let,
time
let
he
me
makes
tell. Let me,
tackles.
Caleb. Let me break it down to you. All right, Boston Scott. Well, no, screw back. Okay, their backup running back had over 112 yards rushing, 9.3 yards a carry, and a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, their backup, not their starter, not their starter, their backup. Miles Sanders, 17 carries, 90 yards, 5.3 yards a carry. They're getting half of a first down on every carry. Kenneth Gainwell was getting a first down every carry, 9.3. Well, 9 yards, and then you have 1 yard left. Justin Hurts didn't even throw for 200 yards because they were like, we don't need to throw the ball
Yeah,
because we'll just run the ball because they have no depth on their defensive line. We rotate 6, 5, 5, 6 if you count Justin Ellis. You have Jihad Ward, you have Kayvon, Aziz, Dexter, Leonard. So Jihad, Dexter, Leonard, Aziz, and Kayvon. That's 5. Then you throw in Justin Ellis, that's 6. Like a proper rotate, like 6. And Justin Ellis, come on, man. Justin Ellis, really? It's 5. It's 5 people. Then you have O'Shane Zimenez on occasion, but he's not showing up. I don't know where Tom and Fox is. I don't know where he is. There was one time Kayvon Thibodeau, you could hear him yell out, they're freaking holding me. Can you hear it on the broadcast? Probably because they've been holding him all season. But here's the thing with Kayvon Thibodeau. I know Lane Johnson's the best right tackle in the entire NFL. So without a doubt, it's him. It's him. But 60% of Lane Johnson shouldn't be stopping you because he's 60%.
yeah.
He's injured. Find out his injury. I'm sorry. Not exploit it, but like use it to your advantage. Like, oh, what was his injury? What was his labrum?
I'm not sure.
Lane Johnson. Oh, because he tends to take steroids. You know what I mean? Oh. What is that not what he did a couple years ago when he took steroids? Literally. All right. So. His injury was. Let me see his injury. Where's his injury? What was his injury?
A leg injury.
I think it was a leg, probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, because and then they have Jordan.
It was a pulled groin.
He pulled his groin. Okay. See, like, when you're pulled groin, you don't have that kind of that motion on your hips, and you need motion in your hips to be a tackle. Use your speed. But it didn't happen because there's no depth. And then towards the end of the game, the defense was like, dude, we're tired. It's over. Like Kenneth Gainwell is just hitting them, and they've kind of just accepted defeat. And this is just, did Brian Daboll get out coached? I don't think so. I just think he doesn't have the dudes. He doesn't have the dudes. Yeah. You can say if he got out coached, if him and Nick Sirianni had the same team and Nick Sirianni beats him, then you say you got out coached. But Sirianni, you know what? Let me talk about Nick Sirianni real quick. All right, he is going to be the greatest villain in the NFC East of all time. It's gonna be because that man. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. I hate his face. I hate his smug face. He fits that city. He fits those fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Disgusting. And it's But I can call a spade a spade. He's a damn good coach. He's a damn good coach. Because here's the thing about Nick Sirianni. Great coaches, they don't get stuck in their ways like, oh, this is my system. We're running our system. Nick Sirianni was like, oh, we can run the ball on these people. Oh, we're gonna run it. Just run it down their throats. That's what makes great coaches great coaches. They have their system, yeah. But when they realize like, oh, I don't need to use the system, or I don't need to drop some, fancy schmancy play. I just need to run the ball inside on 3 straight plays and we get 6 yards each carry. I'm going to run the ball 3 straight times and get 6 yards a carry. That's what makes a great coach a great coach. He realized like, oh, this is working. We're going to shove it down the throat until they stop us. And guess what the New York Giants did? They didn't stop them. Because the New York Giants don't have anyone to stop them. Daniel Jones did throw an interception. James Bradbury. Oh my God, James Bradbury. Don't even give me. Oh my God. Seeing that man in an Eagles uniform just makes me want to stab my eye out. Because the only reason we had to cut him is that we couldn't afford him, and which was annoying. And he picked off Daniel Jones with ease because he read Daniel Jones like a fiddle. You can't really say it was a beatdown. They punched us in the mouth.
Just a complete opposite of what I thought was going to happen. Thought they were going to come out rusty. Thought they weren't going to, Jalen Hurts was going to be not feeling himself like himself. And it just complete opposite happened. They came out, on all, full force. When like you said, they ran all over him, but when they needed the pass, they got big wide open play to Devontae Smith, big open play to Dallas Goedert, and I mean when they needed to pass, they got big plays out of it. But then the rest of the rest of the game they just ran.
Bro, y'all look the tackling on Dallas Goedert was like horrifying. Xavier McKinney couldn't tackle it. People couldn't tackle that man. No offense, like I know Dallas Goedert's a good player, but Dallas Goedert ain't that. He ain't that. I hate getting like shrugging off tackles like they literally like just throwing people around. Like what is this? Like where was Cordell Flott? Here's the thing about Cordell Flott. I said this when we first drafted him. I said this a while ago. He was a part of that LSU contingency that was like, we don't want to play zone. We're man corners. Wink Martindale puts his corners in man. Where was Cordell Flott? Where was Landon Collins? Put Landon Collins on Dallas Goedert. Hey, Landon, go guard Dallas. And Landon Collins is one of the best tacklers we got. Where was he? Where was LC? Where was Cordell? Where were they? Like, Devontae Smith just catches Julian Love sleeping on one play. And Devontae Smith just like gets this like easy, like 50-yard reception. Why were you giving A.J. Brown so much cushion? There's sometimes a little bit too much respect. And no offense to A.J. Brown, great receiver. He's pretty damn good. But at giving him like a 7-yard cushion, where he can easily get 7 yards on a quick slant, like a 5-yard cushion, what? Excuse me? No. They want that. They want you to give him that. Don't give him that. Make him go deep. And we're like, I don't want to overreact. I'm not going to overreact. But there were just little things the coaching staff did where I'm like, what are you doing? Where was Cordell Flott? I didn't hear him at all. I didn't hear about him. I didn't see 28. I don't know, because sometimes in the NFL, people sub in and you don't know they subbed in until you find out later. Because the numbers and the way the angle is, you kind of miss their number, and kind of like they're all wearing helmets. You don't know who's who sometimes. But I didn't see Cordell Flott at all. And honestly, it was pretty bad. The discrepancy at linebacker needs to be addressed this offseason. Inside linemen, not even inside offensive linemen. Interior linemen, not even offensive, just interior linemen, defensive tackle and guards and center, and linebacker. Like I said earlier, Fred Warner guarding a wide receiver, I'm okay with because he's Fred Warner. I don't want to ever see Gerard Davis guarding A.J. Brown ever again. I don't. Why is he guarding A.J. Brown? Why? Like what's going through your mind? And Mr. Cleanup, Jalen Smith, Mr. like, you're not going to get, you may have gotten 25 yards, but you're not going to get 26. You know what I mean? Mr. That, I don't want to see him again either. You know what I mean? Positive tackles. That's what we want. I call a positive tackle. Here's what a positive tackle is to me, Gilb. I've told people this. They think I'm stupid, but I'm gonna break it down to you. You find out a man has 10 tackles, right? But all 10 of his tackles occurred either 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. 10 of those tackles happened there. Positive tackles. You find out a man has 25 tackles and all of them are over 5 yards after. Those aren't positive tackles. Because I see it as like, if you run the ball 3 times at 2 yards a clip, that's 2, 4, 6. That's 4th and 4. You did your job. You make sure you try to keep them at, because if it's 3 yards a clip, 3, 6, 9, it's 4th and 1 and they can still go for it. So you want it at 2 yards a clip, 2, 4, 6. That's what you want. You want to make sure the max you want people to rush the ball is 2 yards a clip. Because if they run the ball 3 times at 2 yards a clip, that's 6 yards, 4th and 4. 3 yards a clip, 3 times, 9 yards, 4th and 1. You don't want 4th and 1, you want 4th and 4. So 2 yards a clip. That's the max. 2 yards a clip. 2 yards a clip or no yards a clip or negative yardage. So either 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or at the line of scrimmage. That's where positive tackling happens. If you tackle someone 3 yards up or 4 yards up, not a positive tackle, in my opinion. That's the way I've broken down positive tackles. I created it because Chris Boland, the linebacker for the Niners, back-to-back weeks had like 25 tackles each, right? And then you look at him and you're like, yo, 10 of your tackles happened when the guy was downfield. Who cares? Or like 15, like, I don't care. So positive tackles, 2 yards a clip, max. That's where it is. 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage is a positive tackle. Jalen Smith, I've never seen him do that. Gerard Davis I can't really talk smack about Gerard Davis because he just got here. And you're telling Gerard Davis, who just got here 4 weeks ago, hey, it's the divisional playoffs. You're going to guard A.J. Brown for some odd apparent reason. What? And Xavier McKinney, he was his hand injury. He was at 70%. He had no power in his wrist on his hand because he's still rehabbing it. I think he's going to take this and use it as fuel going forward. Next year, I better see Xavier McKinney say, hey, against Philly, I got Dallas Goedert, and I'm going to put him in hell. If I don't see that next year from Xavier McKinney, I'm giving you a full year to rehab your hand because you're still not fully healthy with your hand, and you need your hand a lot for safeties because you need to just grab and jam and all that jazz. If I don't see you next year against Philly say, hey, I got Dallas Goedert, he's not getting anything today, then what are we? Then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What? It's because at the end of the day, we got shellacked by Philly. There's not a lot of X's and O's we can go through. They just literally just ran the ball. They ran the ball and hit us in the mouth. And they're like, what are you going to do about it? Oh, nothing. I'm going to hit you again. Nothing. I'm going to hit you again. And I'm going to hit you again. I'm going to hit you again. I'm going to hit you again. I'm going to keep hitting you and I'm going to keep hitting you. I'm going to hit you until you stop me. And we never stop them. There's no X's and O's here. There's no trick play. There's no look how they did a layer route. Like, no, there's nothing. They ran the ball. They punched you in the mouth and they said goodbye. That's what happened. Like, nothing special happened. And they rotate 8 defensive linemen against a rookie. They put Hassan Reddick, their best pass rusher, on a rookie. Hassan Reddick is going to eat that rookie alive. And guess what happened? He did. And especially when they looped Hassan Reddick, they looped him and he hit John Feliciano. He just hits John Feliciano. And Felice couldn't stop him. And he got a sack. They did nothing special. They just did, you know what they did? They did nothing special. They did football. They ran the ball. They rushed the passer. They did nothing trickery. They played football. Pop Warner, hey, just run the ball with our homie in the back. That's all they did. And the Giants were like, what do you want us to do? What do you want? Like, we have no dudes. When Dexter Lawrence is out the game, you're against Justin Ellis. And just Landon Dickerson and Jason Kelsey against Justin Ellis? What do you think was gonna happen? Like what was going on? What do you think? You think Justin Ellis was gonna become Warren Sapp? Like what do you think? What do you think? No, it wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. Like what are we talking here? Dudes. People talk about the X's and O's, baby, but it's all about the Jimmies and the Joes. It's all about the Jimmies and the Joes. You got the dudes, you can win the games. You don't got the dudes, no matter what play you write, no matter how amazing it is in your brain, in your schematics, if you don't got the Jimmies and the Joes to execute it, your plays are meaningless. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're
Tell me if, yeah.
Especially
you could create the greatest play.
It was clear.
Yeah, it was in this game. They didn't even have great play design. They literally were like, we're running the ball inside. That's it. We're running the ball. And they just pounded the rock. And the Giants were like, dude, we can't rotate. We're tired. You know, like again, like I keep telling people, they're human beings who get tired, get fatigued, get hurt. In the fourth quarter, you're being grabbed and held and hit by Lane Johnson, Isaac Siamalu, Jordan Mulata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Andre Dillard. Like you're fighting them, and then it gets to the point where you're like, I just want to go home. And they said, when Kenneth Gainwell scored that touchdown, they were like, I want to go home. That was the I want to go home. That's what happened. That was the I want to go home. It was 28-0 at halftime. We scored that touchdown. They don't score in the third quarter, Caleb. They don't score in the third quarter. So we scored that touchdown. I was like, hey, we got some gas. And they were like, nope. Punch in the mouth. That's all I got. All right, now let's move on to now you know what, let's because where we can talk about our future next week, what we can aim in the draft and free agency and all that cap hell we got the Giants do. But let's end the show with the conference title games are coming up. Let's talk about them real quick. On the AFC side, you got Kansas City and Cincinnati. And on the NFC side, you got the Niners and Philly. I think we're both rooting for the Niners, right, Caleb?
Absolutely.
And honestly, it's not even football related. We just don't want Philly to win. So there's that. Mm-hmm. Or Caleb, what's gonna be funny? I want Philly to win, right? And I want them to make it to the Super Bowl, right? But I want Joe Burrow to beat them. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it be? Right? And then when we talk shit to them, they'll be like, "But we made the Super Bowl, you guys didn't." But at the end of the day, we lost, you lost. We're both losers, sucker. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
I just want them to lose this week.
I don't want them to win anything. The Niners better win. We're going Niners. Nothing. It's not even football related. It's just straight hatred for the Eagles. We're being honest. We're very honest here. We don't like the Eagles. Neither one of us do. I don't like the Cowboys, and he doesn't like the Giants. But it's fine. I really don't hate the Cowboys. I just find them annoying. There's a difference. I just feel sorry for them. But they are really America's team, by the way, because America likes mediocrity and losers, and the Cowboys are losers and mediocre who still live off of their winnings from the 90s, just like how America lives off their winnings from back in the day. So they are America's team, stuck in the past, those both units. But on the AFC side, you have Cincy, you have Kansas City. I'm going Joey B. Joey B smoking. Joe Burr, Joe Shiesty, Cincy all day. The jungle. What are you going with, Caleb?
Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals. It's the Bengals, man. Hey, man, he is 4-0 in his last 4 games against Patrick Mahomes. And all I'll say is this, man. And then it's this 5th time against each other, and this time Patrick Mahomes is injured. So he's beating you while you're healthy, and now you're facing him while you're injured. Come on, man. Joey B gonna win. Joey B's gonna win. And Cincinnati's playing better. They're hitting their stride at the right moment. All I say is, man, I hope Cincinnati doesn't become Cincinnati of the 80s. They made the Super Bowl, I think, twice with Ken Anderson, and they lost both times to the Niners. and they're both times they lost on some crazy play. Like the first loss was a fourth, like a goal line stand, and then the second time it was a John Taylor game-winning touchdown. I hope Cincinnati gets a Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want Cincinnati to win. Since he wins the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be happy for them. Because growing up, if y'all don't know me, one of my favorite, yeah, my second favorite NFL player of all time, it was Chad Ochocinco. If people know me, I love Chad. Big fan of NFL Street 3, Chad Ochocinco. I thought he was the coolest dude on the planet. Gold teeth, dope jersey. He was my guy. Only behind Brandon Jacobs, by the way. Shout out to you, Brandon Jacobs. I love you, dog. Love you, man. I don't know where you at. Hey, you know what, Brandon Jacobs? Hey, come on the show. You know what? How about you do that? But yeah, Caleb, any final thoughts?
Not really.
On your season overall.
On the season, I mean, it's another failure. It's another wasted season. Or we should have been better. We should have won. We should have won more. We should have been in this game this week. Just like we should have won last year. Overall, just disappointing. I don't feel like we missed anything. We weren't good enough to win any of these games, because I do think we have the team to win. We just wasted the opportunity again, because we didn't play well on that certain day. That's it.
All right. Great season. Proud of my guys. Was it a disappointing end? Absolutely. Was it a gut-wrenching end? Absolutely. Like, here's the thing about this, man. Of course, I'm gonna be gut-wrenching about this game. I don't want to lose the Eagles ever. We could have every player on IR and everyone injured, and we're having all our backups in the game, and I still want to beat the Eagles. No matter how outgunned, how outmanned, how like better they are than us. Like, they're better than us. It is what it is. I still want to beat them. That's why I was gut-wrenched about the game. But if I'm, kind of taking off of my together blue mirrors off and kind of break it down as the season, we had a great season. We weren't supposed to be in the playoffs. We were never supposed to be here. We beat teams we weren't supposed to beat. We were always in games. The only game where we got blown out was the first Cowboys game. They didn't blow us out. We were in the game, but we lost. The first Philly game, we got blown out. Seattle and the Lions, we didn't deserve to be on that field against them. Those three teams. But yeah, like, it was a great season. It's phenomenal. We do have deficiencies, and this is where I am looking for Joe Shane to do. This is where Joe Shane's like, this is why I was hired. Because it was him and Adam Peters were the finalists for the job. I think it was Adam Peters. And I think it was like another person as well. I think it was also Ryan Poles. But it was Joe Shane who got the job. This is where Joe Shane needs to go to work. He knows what's missing. Linebacker, interior defensive lineman, an interior offensive lineman, a receiver. He knows the deficiencies of this team. Go address them. If you can't address all of them this offseason, that's fine. But address the ones by extreme need. Interior offensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, linebacker. I think those are the big keys. Wide receiver is cool. We need one. I know we do. But the three I named before, I think, are a little bit more important than wide receiver as the season kept going on and on and on. So there's that. This is where Joe Shane starts earning his money. I'm proud of my guys. Great season. And on that note, Caleb, where can people find you, my man? All right. He's a little frozen. Caleb, where can people find you?
You can find me at NFL Caleb 22 on Instagram and Twitter. Find me on this channel doing betting the NFL with my co-host DWeezy.
Betting the NFL.
I'll have better analysis on that show. Better analysis on the games coming up, on why I like these teams to win, and who I like to cover, and maybe some over and unders. And then otherwise that's on Wednesday at at 9. So show for that. And also you can find my articles that go along with that show at letsgetreadynetwork.com.
All right. Yep. As well as, guys, I'm Ferris Malone. You can find me at Ferris Malone every day today, 3 o'clock Monday Pacific, 3 Pacific every Monday. Good Friends, Better Rivals. We showing up. As well as on the other channel, the LGR Entertainment channel, every Friday, 3 o'clock, our retro Rocky review series on the road to Creed 3 just came out. Is Rocky 2 review with Soda and me and Dagan. We all reviewed Rocky 2. Phenomenal film. I forgot how good it was. It was very emotionally charged. But coming up this Friday on the 27th, 3 o'clock, Rocky 3 with Mr. T and me and Dagan. We don't have Mr. T on the show. I wish, but we didn't have him. It's just me and Dagan reviewing Rocky 3, the beginning of the relationship of Creed and Rocky. I love Creed. I love Rocky 3. That's amazing. That is an amazing movie. And as well as I believe Monday or Tuesday at 3 o'clock, either or, we have our Last of Us reviews where me, Justin, Matt, or Alex show up and we review the Last of Us show, as well as I am playing the game as we review the show. So there's that. But on that note, everyone, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay calm, and you Giants fans, keep your heads up high. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of y'all. We got a great season. Shout out to all Giants Twitter. Shout out to y'all. You're great. Y'all phenomenal this year. Great follows from everybody on that, man. Phenomenals. So stay safe, everyone.